So in this video, I'm going to show you some of my favorite Excel tips, tricks, and techniques. So here you can see I have some random information on this Excel sheet, but it's not so random. I actually have plans for it. So for example, one of the things I like to do with Excel is to do the fill option. So I click on my day here, and you can see there's this little square in the corner. When you grab that square and drag it, it will fill in information like a series. So for example, right here I have a day of the week, Monday. Now Excel's smart enough to know when I click and drag that I want to fill a series of days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so forth. I could also, if I wanted to, I could drag a series of months, just like that. Now you see here I have a series of numbers. If I was to highlight both of those numbers and drag, it's going to know it wants to increase by 2. In this case starting from 1. Here I'm increasing by 21. If I drag down, you can see it wants to increase by 21 each time. So it's whatever that series is. So let's say I have a date. If I grab and drag down that single date, you can see how it will increase the date. So if you need a list of dates, it'll increase like that. If I was to go back and get to that dot and hold down my control key and drag, you can see it gives me this other menu. It's hard to read all the options because looks like it has a phantom date there. You can see I can fill in days, work days, months, or I can fill in the contents of the cells like copying and pasting. So that's also an option if you just want to fill in a series like that. It will repeat any series I put in. So if I put in 3 names and then drag down, it knows enough that it wants to repeat those names in a series over and over. So that's one of my favorite things, is to doing the dragging stuff like that. Something else I like is the formatter paintbrush. So for example, let me say I'm in this cell here. I pick some font, right? Some color, maybe even do a background. Okay, so I have a cell that looks something like that. And for the life of me, I want the rest of these cells like that, but I can't remember, what I use for the font, the size, so on and so forth. Or maybe someone emailed me a spreadsheet. Sometimes that happens, and they've done some edits, but there's something wonky with some of the formatting. Someplace I can't put my finger on it. If I click on the cell that I like with the formatting and click my paintbrush, wherever I drag over, it will automatically change the contents of those cells for the same format. So in this case, if I don't want that format, I could always click here on this and drag like that, and it just changed the formatting for this entire block to what that cell was. Okay, that saved me a ton of work in the past, just with the formatting paintbrush. The last thing I want to show you is some things about resizing cells. So let's say I'm in a cell and I have some really long text and then something that's short. I can't even see it because it's going over into this other cell. Any of your cells, if you go between either the numbers or between the letters, you can see how my arrow changes to this line with the double arrows on it. If I double click, it'll automatically resize that cell to whatever the longest string of text is. So if I have some really long text in this one and double click it, it'll automatically resize it like that. Or if suddenly I have less text and extra space, if I double click, it'll make it shorter. Same thing with your cells going up and down. Now the other thing I can do is any row or column, if I highlight it, so in this case I'll highlight these rows here by clicking on the numbers. If I go between any of these cells after these are highlighted and drag, it resizes all those cells to be the same width in this case. And I could also do it if I wanted to with my columns. So now I just kind of put some of that off to the side, but you can see how it resized them all so they were the same height or the same width. And that's also saved me a lot of work in the past, just resizing cells. So there's just a couple quick tips, some things that I like to do, really simple, that have made my life easier.